don't mean to cast a shadow or a cloud, but let's look at a potential boom. More than ever in American history, if there were some kind of surge in consumer purchases, I would like to make 2 points. Number one, a huge part of that money will leave the United States and go to China because that's where these goods come from. Right. And by the way, the Chinese are in the process of building automobiles that Americans are going to want to buy. They already produce a vast array of goods. And if they're not produced in China, they're produced in other low-wage countries. So now understand what I'm saying this way. If there's a surge, it's going to be much less ramifying in our economy because so much of that spending will leak into other economies, creating booms and growth over there, not over here, because of the whole nature. And that brings me to the second point. Mr. Biden made a big splash yesterday, and the Republicans cheered him on about, I am going to investigate our supply chains. You know, the way the United States, whether it's for computer chips or anything else, has become dependent as a society on long chains of raw materials and partially finished goods that are made in various parts of the world. And the implication is, I'm not going to let us be so dependent. Well, here's a little lesson in economics. The reason we have long global supply chains is because profit-driven capitalist enterprises in the United States wanted that. That makes more profit for them. They want to get the inputs where they are cheapest. They want to get bits of production done where it is the cheapest to do. They want to store materials that need to be stored in places where it's cheapest to store. That's why we have them. It's not a governmental mistake or a policy issue. It's how capitalism has always worked. The problem is Americans don't understand that it's fun riding up the hill with capitalism. It's not so much fun when capitalism moves on. You know, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio. That's a place from which capitalism has left, has gone, has abandoned. And that's the future of what is going on a global scale now. That problem isn't going to be solved if Mr. Biden were successful. If he did stop American companies from their global supply chains and they produced it all here, it would cost them much, much more to produce those goods, which would nullify whatever this boom was able to get going with more spending, because the more spending wouldn't create more goods and services. It would be lost in paying the higher prices if you were going to actually do something as opposed to mere rhetoric about these supply chains.